A new twist on an old scandal is rocking the world of pro racing with allegations of a conspiracy to cover up cheating, with one retired Formula One racer threatening a lawsuit to overturn the result of the 2008 championship. We're talking about retired Ferrari driver Felipe Massa. He says a notorious race-fixing plot called Crashgate robbed him of the trophy that year. Massa and his team say newly unearthed comments by a couple people in F1 leadership shows they knew more about the cheating scheme than they let on. And the reopening of this whole controversy is coming as the U.S. fan base is getting bigger and bigger. Sahil Kapur is joining us now, or should I say our chief F1 racing correspondent, Sahil Kapur. I know that you are like a huge fan, but you also do reporting on this topic. Talk to us about what this cheating plot, this Crashgate, is all about.
It's an extraordinary story, Hallie, and it all goes back to the Singapore Grand Prix in 2008 when the Renault driver Nelson Piquet Jr. was told by team bosses to deliberately crash and bring out a safety car and help his teammate win. Long story short, the plot succeeded, and the man who was leading the race at the time and lost out big was Ferrari's Felipe Massa. You see him on the screen there. He ended up losing the championship that year by just 1 point to Lewis Hamilton, who's on the right. Now, at the time, F1 officials said that race would count because they didn't know about the so-called Crashgate plot until the following year. But now Massa's legal team cites new comments by then F1 chief executive Bernie Ecclestone in an interview months ago, who said he did know at the time. And had they annulled the Singapore race, Massa, not Lewis Hamilton, would be champion. And Massa told me those are the comments that prompted him to take this action, and he insists he's deadly serious about it. Listen to what he told me.
I want the trophy. I'm fighting for the justice, to have the trophy. I will fight until the end, even if I need to go to the legal, to the court, to prove that what happened to me was not fair.
Now, it is worth noting, Ecclestone, who is now 92, has since said he doesn't recall making those comments and accused Massa of waging a stunt for money. Massa told me he has no interest in the money. He just wants the title. F1 and the FIA have not weighed in, and they did not return our requests for comment.
How big of a deal is this in the pro racing world? Like, really, help us gut check on that.
Yeah, it's an extraordinary thing, and nobody really knows if it'll succeed. There's no history of overturning championships after they've been granted. And think about the implications for the sport, rewriting the history of it after 15 years. And for Lewis Hamilton, by the way, a 7-time world champion. If somehow this does succeed, he's down to 6 world championships. Now, I want to be clear. Hamilton is not accused of doing anything wrong.
Right.
Massa says he simply benefited from the transgression that occurred. I did reach out and get in contact with Hamilton's representatives. They are declining to comment on this. He's focused on the current race.
It is also just so fascinating because this is coming at a time when, as you and I have talked about on this show before, the popularity of Formula One racing is growing in this country, and that has not always traditionally been the case.
That's absolutely right. And there are a lot of new Drive to Survive era fans in the United States who may not be familiar with what happened in 2008. This brings it all back. And Massa's legal action threatens to drag the sport, or reopen, rather, one of the dark chapters in the sport's history.
Sahil Kapur, thank you so much. Great to see you.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.